We are just 3 days away from the first funding deadline to avert a government shutdown during President Trump's second term, and everything is on the line for Speaker Mike Johnson. The House is expected to vote today on a bill crafted by Republicans that will fund the government for 6 months. This morning, Johnson urged Democrats to back the bill, but he insisted Republicans already have the votes.
We'll have the votes. We're going to pass the CR. We can do it on our own. But what I'm saying is Democrats ought to do the responsible thing, follow their own advice in every previous scenario, and keep the government open. It's their choice.
Joining us now, NBC's Julie Surkin on Capitol Hill. Julie, good morning. So with that razor-thin majority for Republicans, can they carry this bill through without Democrats?
Jose, good morning. Well, Speaker Johnson just passed by me, and I asked him that very question again, and he reiterated that they have the votes to pass this bill today. A couple of moments ago, House Republican leadership actually canceled votes for tomorrow, another positive sign, perhaps, that Republicans can get this over the finish line in the lower chamber, which will put a ton of pressure on Democrats in the Senate. They need 7 of them to join all Republicans. Of course, Senator Rand Paul, for example, a Republican who never votes for CR, has already said he's against it. Maybe they'll need some more than 7. But nonetheless, if Republicans manage to get this through the House today, it'll squeeze Democrats in the Senate, who have the choice, will be presented with the choice of shutting down the government or keeping it open. That is the message that Johnson had today at his leadership press conference. Never mind that Republicans, including Speaker Johnson, before he was in this leadership position, have traditionally voted against continuing resolutions. Many of them have voted against so during the Biden administration, under the first Trump administration. They don't like these bills, but Johnson insists that this time is different. He also told my colleague Ryan Nobles that this is the last continuing resolution that he will put up. We'll see if he sticks to that. He says the White House wants to get back to regular order. This funding bill, remember, maintains status quo, essentially maintains Biden-era spending levels. It pluses up some defense spending, which is good for defense hawks in the Republican Party, but it does cut back some non-defense discretionary items, which is why Democrats, part of the reason they're voting against this today. In the House, of course, we heard Leader Jeffries say they're going to be a no. We'll see if any Democrats break, but Johnson feeling confident that they won't need them. Jose?
Julie Surkin, thank you so very much. And joining us now, former Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo from Florida and former Democratic Senator Heidi Heitkamp from North Dakota. She is the director of the University of Chicago's Institute of Politics. Carlos, I see that you're in D.C. today. How do things look for Speaker Johnson right behind you?
Well, so it's a beautiful day in D.C. We'll see what kind of a day it is inside the Capitol. And I'll tell you, this vote this evening is very important because it could mark a shift in power dynamics in the Capitol. We know that for years, over a decade, Republican speakers have relied on Democrats to fund the government for these big votes to omnibus bills, continuing resolutions. If House Republicans can pass a bill on their own tonight without Democratic votes, that would mark a big change. That would mean that House Republicans now are more coherent, are organized, can rely on their own party to get basic things done, and it would significantly weaken the Democratic majority, even though it's a significant majority, just a handful of votes away from being a majority. This would mark a very, very big shift in what we've seen on the Hill for quite some time now.
Senator, how do you see that? Is there a potential shift in the power dynamics in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill if Speaker Johnson is able to carry this CR through without one Democrat vote?
Well, his first big test was the budget, and he was able to get that budget resolution passed with no Democratic votes. So this shouldn't be a big surprise for a lot of people that he can do it. I think that having President Trump, basically, I wouldn't say bully, but pull out all the stops and get people in line. I think that the more interesting question is, Speaker Johnson's been in charge now for 2 Congresses, but yet we're still in the CR business. And so he passed a budget. He got his budget target numbers. Why isn't he actually back to regular order? And I'll tell you why, because there's no way you can cut almost $1 trillion out of Medicaid and get your people to vote for it. So this is the easy stuff. This is the easy stuff, and I think it puts a lot of pressure on Chuck Schumer. It puts a lot of pressure on the Democrats in the Senate. We'll see how they respond. But this doesn't surprise me, and I don't think it's a shift necessarily. I think it's a punt.
And Senator, so what is the responsibility of the Senate and Senate Democrats if this CR bill does get through the House?
Well, I don't think that the Democrats are going to want to be responsible for shutting down government, and that's exactly where the pressure is going to be. It's going to be on Senate Democrats, and so I think it's a question of whether you do this and live to argue another day. But one of the things, there is a pretty sizable shift in this CR from plussing up defense spending at the same time that the president is telling the new Secretary of Defense, cut. Well, I mean, why do you need to plus it up if you're cutting it? And it also does take some money out of discretionary domestic spending. And so that's always been the bargain for exchange between Democrats and Senate. You know, we'll cut the exact same amount or plus up the exact same amount in defense if you'll give us discretionary domestic spending. And so we'll see how that bargain holds. But you know, this is gonna play out. I think that we aren't going to shut down government. That's my prediction.
And Carlos, meanwhile, the markets are, I mean, yesterday was just one of the worst days on Wall Street in some time. And there's still talk, of course, about could we be heading towards a recession? The White House defended the president's agenda in a statement last night. It reads partially, quote, President Trump delivered historic job, wage and investment growth in his first term, and it's set to do so again in his second term. How do you see it so far, Carlos?
Look, Jose, this is the number one issue, and President Biden and his team, Vice President Harris, learned this the hard way. They did not win the last election because Americans were frustrated about the economy. Now, the Trump administration is asking for patience, for time, but at the end of the day, what people care about is the cost of goods. It's their 401k plans, their bank accounts, and these first few weeks have been very unstable. And we know the president's trying to introduce new economic dynamics, all this whole tariff regime. I think the American people might give him a little bit of time. But if we continue seeing this instability in the markets, if people's bank accounts, 401ks keep going down, it's really going to put pressure on the White House and specifically on congressional Republicans who will face voters next year to try to stabilize this economy a little bit, introduce some predictability so that things can get back on track.
And Senator, last night, President Trump advisor Elon Musk discussed his priorities at Doge on Fox Business. Take a listen to some of what he said.
The goal here is let's not have America go bankrupt with waste and fraud. The waste and fraud in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate.
Waste and fraud in the entitlements, but entitlement, senators, is better than anybody else, include Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, so many other things. So what do you think people hear when they hear that?
Well, they hear if he's going to do to Social Security and to Medicare what he's been doing to the rest of the federal government, we're in big trouble. I mean, he didn't get the memo. This is the Holy Grail. You even mention any kind of restrictions or reductions in those programs, Medicare and Social Security in particular. You are touching on an area that is going to ignite a lot of concern in even my parts of the country. And so, as it relates to running the economy, it's amateur hour over at the White House. You saw that he's doubling now the aluminum and steel tariffs on the folks from Canada, on the imports from Canada. That's going to have a ripple effect in the supply chain. They don't really know what they're doing. They're reacting emotionally and not in any smart way with this economy. And you're seeing the stock market, which isn't the economy, but it certainly is an indication of confidence in the economy. You're seeing the stock market respond to amateur hour in the White House and running this economy.
Carlos Curbelo and Heidi Heitkamp, thank you both so very much.